Hello, this is a video on how to play the card game Lady Betty. Lady Betty is a solitaire card game that is played with a single standard 52 card deck. It is perhaps the easiest solitaire card game out there in terms of its rules. It is quite simple. All the cards are first turned face up into a stockpile. You have 6 empty tableau piles and you have 4 empty foundation piles. The foundation piles are built up by rank and by suit from ace to king. In the stockpile, and you move cards from the stockpile into your 6 tableau piles. There's no restriction. You can stack cards on the tableau pile as you please. You can only ever move the top card of the tableau pile. That is it for the rules on how to play Lady Betty. All the cards start out in the stockpile. You have your 6 empty tableau piles, your 4 empty foundation piles. Foundation piles are built from ace to king. Cards from the stockpile are moved to the tableau pile. There are no restrictions on how to move cards to the tableau pile. You can only ever move the top card of the tableau pile. You win when you move all the cards from the stockpile to the tableau the tableau pile to the foundation pile. You lose when you run out of moves. That wraps up how to play Lady Betty. So what we'll do now is we'll go for a quick gameplay demonstration here. Remember, you cannot move cards from one tableau pile to another. Okay, so that is also a key aspect to remember, in that once you move a card to a tableau pile, it cannot be moved from that tableau pile unless you are moving it to the foundation pile. So I actually made the wrong move there, but sort of just to show you how to play, and we'll restart here. Even though it seems like we have the exact same hand as we normally did. So we simply continue stacking cards. My strategy is to stack a card if it is lower, I guess, lower than the card you are stacking it on. Otherwise, you can sort of get into a sticky situation. So lower or of the same rank as the card you are stacking it on. And so notice how I'm stacking all of my, I guess, extras on the side there, because you cannot perfectly use this strategy ever, but you can do your best. I also recommend not putting all your cards on the same stack, because if you need an 8 of one, let's say I needed an 8 of hearts, I'm stuck. I cannot make a move and my game would be stuck. So do not do what I am doing and stack all the matching cards onto the same pile, because that will obstruct your ability to play. In this case it has worked out for me, but this is sort of just luck in that regard. But follow what I said about keeping your lower ranked cards at the bottom. Build it like you would a regular tableau pile, because if you follow that, then the cards will build sort of automatically, meaning that you'll have the cards you need in order to make a move that is beneficial for you. So once again, right, we can empty a tableau pile when we move the cards out of it, and when we do so, what will happen is that we'll demonstrate what will happen. But what will happen is that you cannot use it. Once you empty a tableau pile, you cannot use it. the only movement into a tableau pile can be from the stockpile when you are initially stacking. Once that is there, that card can only leave the tableau pile when it is being stacked on the foundations. So that is very important, and so that's a key thing to sort of realize. So that's why we're stuck here, because we had all our cards, right, all our high ranking kings on this one side. That sort of wraps up how to play Lady Betty. If we wanted to, we could go through, I guess, another demonstration really quickly here. And so we're going to save one pile just for what I'd like to call the kings. We'll call it the king pile, and so we'll save that pile just for the kings only. So you have to be careful in this regard, because once you stack a card, you cannot really move it, right? It's impossible to move it unless you're moving it into the foundation piles. So we are going to save room for sort of all of our kings there. And by doing this, I guess I have now a different problem in that I'm placing all my eggs in sort of one basket here. But to do this, we can ensure that we do not have any kings that are obstructing our ability to move cards. So that was my entire plan, really. And so now that we've moved all of our required kings, we can go ahead and use that spare pile to move any remaining spare cards we may need to. Although if we follow my strategy here, some of the cards sort of automatically build. If we I guess say it like that, right? And so we have our cards free and we can simply build them as we please. And so we're going to build as much as we can here. Luckily for us, this does have a sort of a luck component to it, and so keep track of that. We can move the 7 of hearts there, with the 8. Now we're dependent on the 9 of hearts. Now we need the 10 of hearts, but it's all the way up there. So once again, we are stuck, right? That wraps up how to play Lady Betty. I guess what the key takeaway is, and pardon me, I did not even know that part of our cards were cut off there. So you couldn't see me stacking some of the cards, and my apologies. But the key takeaways from Lady Betty are that try not to get too many cards stacked in one tableau pile, because you can sort of get yourself stuck. And the game itself is very simple to play. I won't go over the rules because we have summed them up quite a few times. But that wraps up how to play Lady Betty. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.